ones. You got some time for that one, but I'll just let you mull that over. But with that said, we are already ready for the next run, which is Macbat 64 Journey of a Nice Chap. We're going to go 100% through the new release, and it'll be run by Kefka. Kefka, take it away.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thanks for having me. I'm going to be running the next 2 games for you all. I'm very happy to be here. We're just going to get right into this. So this is Macbat 64. We're playing on the Switch. This is the new release. The game was released on PC as well, and there is like a 100% old release category as well that has a bit of different requirements. But let's just jump right into it in 3, 2, 1, go. So, Macbat 64 is developed by Ciactro Games, and it's more or less kind of trying to harken back to the Rareware titles on the 64. The lead dev, Marcus, very good guy, makes amazing games, honestly. All of them are really good, just short, fun games to play. They're, all of them sort of have this Rareware kind of style, and yeah. We're already done with the first level, by the way. That was Beginner's Bar, and basically all we had to do was collect a couple coins to buy a drink so we could charter a boat. And we're going to be jumping straight into the second level, which has a frame perfect skip, which is that's always fun, right? We'll see how many tries it takes us to get it. Shouldn't be too rough. But part of the 100% requirement is we need to grab this here. That's a kiwi statue. Okay, so we missed it on the first attempt, and we got it on the second. Nice. That's not bad for a frame perfect trick in a 60 FPS game. So basically, by pressing the home button, we disabled a level barrier, and we're able to go out of bounds and essentially get to the end trigger of the level sooner. But we did collect an item in that level there, a kiwi statue. There are a total of 4 of those, and they are part of the 100% requirement. So now we're on to level 3 here. This is Tulsar Forest, and starting off right out of the gate, we got to get a shield, a sword, and a hat in order to open this little dungeon over here. And we would just go through the dungeon. And there's a little mirror puzzle here. It's pretty fun. There is a skip in this level that, you kind of get pushed out of bounds and you fly around the border of the map. But it's kind of difficult to do, honestly. And if you miss it, you just got to do the whole level again. So I don't really typically do it during marathons. I don't really want to have to replay a level. So I usually just do it the good old vanilla way. So anyway, once you grab the chalice, you give it to this guy, but we got to come back here in 100% and grab the second of 4 kiwi statues. And we're already on to level 4, which is the shortest level in the game. And I'm going to take just a brief moment in this level to show off something pretty interesting. So this is Strangely Familiar Jungle, the shortest level in the game by far. And more or less, okay, sometimes I have to count for just a moment. I have to count Macbat's flaps, but so that monkey there is voiced by Grant Kirkhope, the person who wrote the soundtrack for the Banjo-Kazooie games, DK64. So kind of a fun little tidbit that's just in the game. It's the only character that's voiced other than the narrator as well. So pretty interesting. Now we're on to Bright Islands. Bright Islands is probably my least favorite level in the game if I had to pick one. It's like a 2.5D level, kind of meant to look sort of like Kirby 64. The object, oh goodness, there we go. The object of this level is to collect 5 fruits, and once we collect them, we take them back to the tree at the start. There is a pretty, not difficult skip, but it's something that can go wrong at the end of the level. We'll see if we get it. I've been having a lot more consistency with it lately. A good friend of mine running a week. Oh no, there we go. Ah, we came really close to getting it. That's okay. It's not a huge time loss by any means. There we go. You can skip having to bounce up those little balls there to get on the blimp and take the portal back sooner. It's one of those things that's deceptively trickier than it looks, but it's also like not hard. It's just it's easy to mess up, but it's also easy to do, I guess is the best way to put it. So here is the 5th level. Most people really, or the 6th level. This is Tubular City. Most people really like the song in this stage. The object of this level is we got to get 4 batteries to power a car. And I'm going to be collecting a couple things here and playing some arcade games inside the games. You get games within your games. Always a good time. This is Shootinator. We got to shoot 4 of these little dudes. Nice and simple. Okay, and then we have this game here, which I don't really know if it has a name. It says Ciactro above it, but I just call it the swoop down and grab the thing game. Anyway, we buy a video game off that dude, and we give it to that monkey, who gives us our third battery. Then we come over to this little disco floor thing here, and the pattern that this disco floor gives is completely random. And I'll be honest, this pattern was pretty terrible as a whole. Definitely some marathon luck. You love to see it. And then we're going to ride this car over here. We got all the batteries we need, and I'm going to press right on the D-pad a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then we just wait until the end, and it's just an auto-scroller, so we can just sit here. Just vibe out to the music. It's good stuff.
While we're vibing here, would it be a good time to jump in with just a little note for everybody?
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. I wanted to mention, as well as all your kind donations rolling in, if you want to keep following and looking at Power Up with Pride, I had to look at myself just now. All Power Up with Pride social media can be found by using !social in chat. You can join us on YouTube if you want to see any VODs. You can join us on Blue Sky. I just reposted something on Blue Sky because I forgot that everything was going live this morning. You can join us on co-host, kind.social, that's Mastodon instance, or you can join us on Discord and hang out year-round.
We've come into the next level now, which is objectively the worst level in the game. This is Mac Race. You can get some boosts and kind of speed things up, but as a whole, this level's really terrible. It's like it's the longest level in the game, and it's kind of an auto-scroller, not exactly. You can definitely lose time. You'll notice I'm cutting some corners there. There's not really any good way to skip this level, so if there's any strat hunters out there that want to give this a crack, it'd be very appreciated. I do want to kind of maybe somewhat shamelessly plug the game during this time, though. This game is extremely cheap. If you have Steam, I think it's $1.99. It's $1.99 on the Switch store. And it was recently, not that recently, but recently-ish released on the Xbox as well as part of like a Ciactro Games collection. So there's a lot of different ways to pick up this game, and they're all very cheap. A really good short speedrun for sure. So I'll be honest, very good Mac Race actually. I didn't really get stopped by any of the off-road sections there, and sometimes when you try to cut those corners, you'll get slowed down, but very solid stuff there. Can't really complain at all. We're getting close to the end of the main portion of this game, but this is a 100% run, which means we have to run all of the bonus levels as well, which, interestingly enough, means we have to watch the credits. That's always an interesting thing, to be in the middle of a speedrun. But coming into the next level, this is Moody Mansion. One of the other shortest levels in the game, but it does have the third of 4 of the Kiwi statues that we need. First we grab this key, then we grab the Kiwi statue, which is in that painting. And what this level normally has you do is do a series of puzzles to figure out what the switch order in this room is. But since it's the same on every run and we're speedrunners, we can just, we have the order memorized and the level's already over. So very short. So the next level in the game is the final regular level, like final non-bonus level, other than the final boss. It's honestly a pretty big run killer in a lot of senses. I'm going to be playing a little bit safe here, but not too safe. So the first thing we got to do is grab that balloon, then we fly up onto the edge of this side thing here, and we essentially went out of bounds to grab that screw there. Normally you have to trade some items around and bounce up in the air and get it, but you can skip doing all that by doing some careful platforming. So the object of this level is to get 5 screws so we can give them to a guy to fix his submarine. But we also are getting the last of the 4 Kiwi statues here. And then we're going to take the screws over to this guy on his submarine. And for some reason, he gives us a blowgun. That's an interesting meta. And you shoot this thing in the face. Very abstract level, honestly. And that makes the end trigger appear. I've always found this level to be, like, kind of a fever dream compared to the rest of the game, honestly. It's very strange. But we are coming up on the final boss, which, again, that won't be the end of the run. We still have the 5 bonus levels to deal with afterwards. But the final boss is the Melon King. There are 2 ways to beat the Melon King. Way number 1 is you fly out of bounds and the fight just ends. But this is 100%, and we have to actually legitimately beat the boss. So phase 1, Melon King's hands will go up in the air like so. Slam down, and we got to make both of them slam down. So we'll wait for it to go into the air like so, and we'll move out of the way. Then we're going to stand right in the middle here, and a blowgun is going to appear. And we're going to shoot the Melon King 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're just going to wait for just a moment, barely a moment at all. And what happens is the game thinks that you've used up all the shots, so it just spawns another blowgun. And this actually allows us to skip the second phase of the fight entirely, which is a pretty interesting little skip. It's interesting that you don't use that in like any percent because you just fly out of bounds to end the fight. But you know, kind of an interesting little exclusive piece of tech to this category. Oh, then here's the end of the fight, the true final phase. So you just hit this switch, get a Wilhelm scream. Lovely. And then we hit the end trigger, and then we get to watch through the credits. So that's always fun. It's always fun to watch some credits in the middle of your speedrun. They're very short, but still interesting. You know, I think this is the only game I run where it's just like, you know, you just got a moment to chill and watch the credits. It's fun.
While we're chilling and watching the credits, can I jump in with another donation here or two?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
All right. We have a $50 donation from Miss Truffles,
Ooh.
who says, "This wonderful game is a good opportunity to tell you that Cyactro made a lot of amazing games, recommended to nostalgic of N64, PS1, Saturn era. They almost all have a speedrunning community. My personal favorite is Turi series. Very satisfying to play. Thank you so much, Miss Truffles, for that donation." And also, we've got a $5 donation from Anonymous that says, "I need to see Banjo-Tooie. Please?" Puppy eyes. And I don't know how much more credits we need, or you want to get back to it?
I was going to actually bounce off of Miss Truffle's donation there. The Tori series, fantastic. I speedrun Tori 2 myself. Wonderful speed games. Just wanted to throw that out there.
No, absolutely. That's good to know. Like, this is certainly a nice retro game, and these games definitely will inspire the sort of nostalgia we all remember from that era.
So now we are in the bonus book. There's a total of 5 bonus levels. The first one here, we like to call it Saws, because there's a lot of saws. There is a skip that skips this entire level, basically, but it's really difficult to do. So we're not really going to be going for that in marathons. We're just going to be, oops, that's interesting. We're going to be just playing the level the normal way. If you hit one of the saws, like I just did, it just teleports you backwards to a, you know, sort of a specified trigger. And once you get to this little elevator here, you're more or less at the end. So not the greatest saws, but you know, it happens. Okay. So the next level in the bonus book is my favorite level in the game. I don't think a lot of people like this level, but I do. We call it Spooky House. It's like a Japanese-style haunted house, and there's these really disturbing sort of creatures running around in here. You might see one briefly. There's one in that room there that we walked past. Their heads are like shaking around. It's really disturbing, honestly, but I kind of like it. I don't know. I think what I like about this level is there's like there's no platforming. It's just run in a good line. I don't know. That appeals to me on a spiritual level. We're making pretty short work of this. There's only 3 levels left in this speed run, but the next one is one of the other shortest stages in the game. We like to call this Kiwi. This is where the Kiwi statues come into play that we've been collecting. And specifically, we now have the Kiwi wing. And what it does is we can now flap infinitely. Now, that's something I've not really mentioned, but when Macbat flaps his wings, you have a limited amount of flaps off of the ground. You have 9 total. Now we can just flap infinitely. So a large part of the early part of this run is just managing your flaps carefully so that you can, you know, get up to each platform and such. Then we get the obligatory Christmas level. It's a pretty good Christmas level. The music is "O Come All Ye Faithful," so that's, you know, good public domain choice. I approve. But the object here is to collect 80 Christmas ornaments. And then the end trigger appears inside of the star on the Christmas tree, kind of like Frieza's EP. Honestly, it's definitely a throwback to that. Level's a lot of fun to speedrun, though, as well, especially if you're into, like, individual levels. It's a pretty cool level. You know, it's some pretty cool movement and stuff. It's interesting, too, though, because you would think, you know, you have to collect 80 objects. This level's going to be really long. Not really. Although it is one of the longer levels in the speedrun, I would argue. But there we go. We have all 80 ornaments, and the end trigger appears inside of the little star there. You know, cute. And we grab that, and then we only have one level left, and that'll be the end of Macbat 64 100%. This last level is exclusive to the new release version of the game, so if you get this on PC, I don't think this level exists on the PC version. I could be wrong. PC runners will be able to tell me a little better, but we call this level Space because it's space. It's meant to sort of be like Super Metroid, I think, because the object is to get to a specific thing and then escape from it. But we're not really going to do anything in this level correctly. I found this route a few months ago, actually. You can fly out of bounds right at the start, and rather than solve all the various puzzles inside of the level, we're just going to fly into the void here for a moment, and we're going to go straight to the end trigger and turn back around. So we're very close to the end of this run at this point. But once you fly within range of this sort of, you know, evil-looking thing, it'll start a timer, and we just fly back to the ship that we started on, and as soon as we touch the ship, that is time on this run. And we're very, very close. Looks like we're going to be somewhere in the 240 range on this. And here we go, and time. And that's Macbat 64, 100% new release. Really fun speedrun, really short. The game also has any percent categories and a new game plus category as well, where you're allowed to use the Kiwi Wing throughout the duration of the main game. You know, highly recommended if you're looking for a short, interesting speedrun to jump into. But yeah, super fun.
Thank you so much, Kefka. That is a fantastic run to watch. Any closing thoughts before we get ready for the next game that you're also running?
No, just if anybody wants to check out Macbat 64, I highly recommend. Like I said, I highly recommend checking it out. There's a server, there's a community, and lovely community. It's always a good time. So yeah, thanks for letting me run this here. It's interesting to get to run 100%. It's one of the lesser ranked categories. So yeah, lots of fun. Again, thanks.
Well, thank you so much. And again, we'll be right back with Kefka in just a little bit. We are going to be running Chameleon Twist as well. That'll be the any percent run. I also want to read off a few donations that came in that I didn't get a chance to get to. We have a $50 anonymous donation with no message, but thank you so much for your donation. We also have another $15 anonymous donation that says, I need more pride in my winter pride. And yes, that's going right towards the target of the Banjo-Tooie bonus game. If you unlock that, it's just about $379 if I'm mathing right in this morning, away from being unlocked. If we get there, that's more Winter Pride 2023. The anonymous $5 donation early gave you puppy eyes. Do you want to deny Anonymous's puppy eyes? You should get that donation. Get those donations rolling in. Make sure every dollar you donate can go towards Banjo-Tooie right now. So keep those rolling in. That said, we'll be right back with Chameleon Twist. Hello again, everybody. It's Peace Egg. I wanted to take a moment to talk to y'all about what we're rolling in all these donations for. Why am I asking you to donate for a Banjo-Tooie run? What about all those pride flags? Why am I doing this? Oh, because it's benefiting Point of Pride. Winter Pride 2023 is raising money for Point of Pride. Point of Pride is a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit organization, and they've served tens of thousands of people in all 50 states and 100 plus countries by providing access to gender-affirming health and wellness services. The money we raise will go to Point of Pride's various support programs, such as their Electrolysis Support Fund, which is a scholarship-like program that provides direct financial assistance to trans people in need of permanent hair removal services they cannot otherwise afford. If you'd like to apply for one of Point of Pride's grants or garment programs, get involved as a donor or volunteer, or just learn more about them, visit pointofpride.org. And with that said, your dollars can also go, like I said, to unlocking new games like Banjo-Tooie. In fact, every dollar you donate should be able to go towards that. But let me get to the bid wars, the ones where you have choices, where the tide of battle can be changed, because one battle is looking to be completed very soon here. And it's weird to say battle because it's about stickers. It's making stickers. There's no real fight there. But would you like to see a flag that represents you, or a flag that you just enjoy looking at as one of the bonus stickers? Oh, I'd like to see the trans flag. Don't worry, we got you there. That's happening. I want to see the Pride flag. No, we got you. That's happening. How about just a general Pride flag? That with the person color stripes on it as well? The Philly Pride, some call that? Yeah, we've got you there. But do you want to see, say, agender, intersex, lesbian, gender fluid? One of those flags? Now's a good time to get your donations in. Right now, asexual is in the lead by a wide margin, but second and third place, which will also be chosen, that is a very tight battle. Gender fluid running at about $30, intersex $24, non-binary $20, neopronouns $16. A single donation could make one of those flags be one of the bonus flags used for the run. So if you'd like to see a flag represented, get those donations rolling in.